Shalom everyone. This video is without question one of the most controversial on my channel. This continues our series on the secrets of Mashiach, and requirements for this video are that you have seen the previous videos on Mashiach. There is a playlist on my channel for those who have not seen those videos yet. That being said, we will be discussing the secret as to why Jesus of Nazareth, or Yeshua Natri, is described in the Talmud as being in a boiling pit of excrement. Without further ado, let us begin. We begin today's lesson in Gittin 57a, and it states right here, Onkelos then went and raised Bilam from the grave through necromancy. He said to him, "Who is most important in that world where you are now?" Bilam said to him, "The Jewish people." Onkelos asked him, "Should I then attach myself to them here in this world?" Bilam said to him, "You shall not seek their peace or their welfare all the days," in reference to Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 7. Onkelos said to him, "What is the punishment of that man?" A euphemism for Bilam himself. In the next world, Bilam said to him, "He is cooking in boiling semen," as he caused Israel to engage in licentious behavior with the daughters of Moab. It continues in the next verse. Onkelos then went and raised Jesus the Nazarene, Yeshua Natri, from the grave through necromancy. Onkelos said to him, "Who is most important in that world where you are now?" Jesus said to him, "The Jewish people." Onkelos asked him, "Should I then attach myself to them in this world?" Jesus said to him, "Their welfare you shall seek, their misfortune you shall not seek. For anyone who touches them is regarded as if he were touching the apple of his eye." An example, Zechariah chapter 2 verse 12. It continues. Onkelos said to him, "What is the punishment of that man?" A euphemism for Jesus himself in the next world. Jesus said to him, "He is punished with boiling excrement. As the Master said, anyone who mocks the words of the sages will be sentenced to boiling excrement. And this was his sin, as he mocked the words of the sages." The Gemara comments, "Come and see the difference between the sinners of Israel and the prophets of the nations of the world, as Balaam, who was a prophet, wished Israel harm, whereas Jesus, the Nazarene, who was a Jewish sinner, sought their well-being." Here's a portion from the translation of Likutim by Moshe David Valley, the teacher of the Ramchal. Translation: "And Mashiach ben David comes to bring peace to the world and not war. The opposite of Jesus, the Christian, who said of himself, 'I did not come to bring peace to the world, but war.' And he too was certainly a sod of Mashiach ben Yosef, despite being a mamzer, because a mamzer, Talmid Hacham, comes before an ignoramus Kohen Gedal." Thus we see here that Jesus, the Natri, Yeshua Natri, is Mashiach ben Yosef. Furthermore, it was explained by the Ramchal in his Sefer Kenot Hashem Zevaot that the two Mashiachim, an example Mashiach ben David and Mashiach ben Yosef, are the secret of the Gevurot and the Chasadim. These Gevurot and Chasadim, in turn, enter into the secret of Leah and Rachel, who are the internality and externality of the Shekhinah. It goes on to state that Mashiach ben David is attached to Leah, and Mashiach ben Yosef is attached to Yisod. An example, the externalities and stands attached to Rachel. Now, Mashiach ben Yosef is in the secret of Yisod, which is the secret of the externalities, and stands with Rachel because he is the secret of the Gevurot, and the Gevurot enter the Partsufim of Rachel. Now, it has been explained how the 5 Chasadim and the 5 Gevurot emerge from the Da'at of Zerainpin, and they spread through Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod of Zerainpin, and pool themselves in his Yisod. It has also been explained how the Chasadim enter into the Da'at of Rachel, then spread through her Partsuf, an example, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and pool inside of Yisod. Now, it was also explained that the Gevurot are the secret of the ox, and Mashiach ben Yosef, it is known, is the secret of the ox. This is the secret of the verse, should your ox or donkey fall into a pit. Pit here hints to Yisod. Thus, Yosef was called the firstlings of his herd. An example, the word there used is shor, or ox. This is because when the Gevurot spread into her Yisod, it gathers in the secret of Mashiach ben Yosef. In addition to this, Rachel is the one who gave birth to Yosef, as it is known. We find in the Zohar in Book 22, Section 12, called Falling. And when the gulf is open, whoever falls there does not come up. And Messiah the son of David fell there, together with Messiah the son of Joseph, of whom one is humble and riding upon a donkey, and the other is the firstlings of his herd, who is Messiah the son of Joseph. This is the meaning of, if a man shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or a donkey fall into it. For that reason, Messiah is called the one who fell, and she, namely the Shekhinah, fell with them. And of her it says, the Virgin of Israel is fallen, she shall no more rise. And you, faithful shepherd, are the owner of the pit, shall make it good, and give money to the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. The dead refers to Messiah the son of Joseph, that will be killed. Thus we find Mashiach ben David and Mashiach ben Yosef are the secret of the ox and donkey, because Mashiach ben David is humble and riding upon a donkey, and Mashiach ben Yosef is the firstlings of his herd, which is the ox. Now to expound the mystery. It is known that the Partsufim of Rachel is attached to Yisod of Zerainpin, but in particular, it is attached to the backside of Yisod. Thus we have our key. The Gevurot emerge from the backside of Yisod, the secret of excrement, and they entered into the secret of the Partsufim of Rachel, where they are gathered in her Yisod. Thus it was said, he's in a boiling pit of excrement. The pit again hints to the place where Mashiach ben Yosef is found. The Gevurot hint to the secret of the excrement, having emerged from the backside of Yisod, as it was just explained here. And boiling, because Gevurah is the secret of fire. Thus, Yeshua Natsri, who is identified as Mashiach ben Yosef, is said to be in a boiling pit of excrement. Now to reconcile, while it mentioned Bilam as well, it stated Bilam was in a boiling pit of semen. This, of course, hints to the Partsufim called Leah, where the Chesadim enter. And it is known that the Chesadim are the secret of the whiteness that enter into the Partsufim of Leah. They too find themselves pooled in her respective Yisod. We find that Bilam is located in this area, as it is revealed here. We find in Vayadat Hashem that at the place where Leah emerges, an example where particularly notes the Yisod of Ima and Abba, which corresponds to the Da'at of Zerainpin, we find right here Bilam. And Bilam emerges alongside the suckling secret of Leah, the place where the Chasadim enter into. Thus, in contrast to Jesus the Nazri, Yeshua Nazri, who is in the boiling pit of excrement, it first mentioned Bilam, who is in the boiling pit of semen, because it is in the secret of Leah and the whiteness of the Chasadim. We find in the writings of the Arizal that Yeshua Nazri is the Gilgul of Esav, and it is known Esav personifies sphere of Gevurah. There's much more that could be said about this. However, this should suffice. And without question, this video is perhaps the deepest revelation behind the mystical statements of the Talmud. Thus, we learn the secret of why Yeshua Nazri is in the boiling pit of excrement, being in the secret of Mashiach ben Yosef, being the personification of the Gevurot that emerged from the backside of Zerainpin, an example, excrement, and while it was called boiling because it was in the secret of Gevurot, hinting even furthermore, they said that he was a Gilgul of Esav, personifying the Gevurot. In addition, we also learned the secret of why Bilam was in the boiling pit of semen, hinting to the whiteness that enters into the Partsufim of Leah. Regarding what has been revealed, we can reconcile a very esoteric portion of Book 17 of the Zohar. It states here in 92, thus in Gevurah, you would have been arid and dry in every respect due to Messiah, the son of Ephraim, dry in your Torah and your prophecy and in your body, in which you have suffered too many agonies, so that he should not die, Messiah, the son of Ephraim, and you pleaded mercy on his behalf. This is because he led the entire world astray. With that being said, that concludes this video. If you guys would like to see more secrets of this kind, leave a comment down below and perhaps we'll do a part 2. Shalom and Selah.